Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
The epic music can mean only one thing. We're back. It's the Stuff and Things podcast, and we're talking about Secret Invasion from Marvel, the Disney Plus original series, episode 5. And in honor of episode 5, we got a full team in. Joining me, my partner in crime, the man who puts up with me more than anyone else, it's Stefan.
Yo, I am back.
Yes. And how did everything go last week?
Voice is still a bit deep, but apart from that, yeah, pretty good.
Glad you're well. And
I
also
haven't even
joining...
listened to that podcast yet, and I know exactly what you said.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea. However, I will say we did have a lot of messages of support for you come in.
What worries me?
Yeah, a lot of some offers to kiss it better, but we'll move on from that. And joining me also, it's the Marvel nerdy back to being a super fan, but not quite there yet. It's Kaylee.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Now, this is going to be fun this week, and I'll tell you why it's going to be fun this week. For everyone listening, we have a little chat, a little WhatsApp group for the three of us.
We do.
We plan out when we're going to record. We sort of like, oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that? This was interesting. We have little chats. And this week, after this episode finished, I kind of went, I don't know if I liked it. I'm not sure. I can't make my mind up. And Kaylee decided to put me in my place. So this could be a fun podcast. This could kick off. Everyone. Kaylee's already put her handbag down. Her earrings have come off. She's ready to go.
She has put an extra 3 rings on though, so you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she fights dirty. I know. So. It is episode 5, A Secret Invasion, and Stefan, the title of the episode was...
Harvest.
It was called Harvest, and as a proud Bristolian, I was very upset not one combine harvester in the whole episode.
I know, disappointment
Shocking.
for you. Disappointment.
It was. No mention of the Wurzels. It was poor. For anyone outside of Bristol, you can Google the Wurzels, and that'll take up an afternoon of laughing.
Brand new combine harvesters, yeah.
I highly recommend that everybody does that, just to get a feel for Sam and I and our in
heritage.
our bones. Yeah, this is in our bones. Yeah.
People want to talk about culture. This is culture, people. And the funniest thing is this is a real act. They were real songs who really charted and really did well. But then as they got older, they realised they'd have more fun doing covers. Their cover of Gina G still goes down as my favourite cover of any cover ever. Ooh, just a little bit. You just can't beat that. Anyway, a little bit of admin. I've had more messages coming from people who are on Stitcher. Thank you so much for getting in touch, and we are redirecting you. But again, a reminder for anyone who's listening via Stitcher, Stitcher is closing. You will be getting emails from them transferring you to their new, like a sister app that they have. Not everyone likes it, so if you're being transferred, great, you'll find our show on there. I've just made sure it's there, so that's there. I think it's called Pandora. But if you want to find us elsewhere, you can find us on Spotify, Amazon, totally free. Obviously, if you have an iPhone, which I know most people on Stitcher don't, but if you have an iPhone, obviously iTunes, we're right there. You can also find us direct from our website, www.stuffandthangspodcast.com, where you've got a full archive of every single episode ever. You can stream that. You can't download from that, though. So I know some people want to do that. But yeah, you can stream from YouTube, our YouTube channel. You can stream from our website. But if you want to be able to download and come back later, then Spotify, Amazon Music are your best bets. There you go. Admin done. Whew, I'm tired now. It's time for someone else to speak. Secret Invasion Episode 5, Harvest. Overall thoughts, I've just said mine, which was kind of like a mixed bag. I'm really not sure. It's kind of like loads happened. I enjoyed it, but I had this weird sort of feeling like left. I don't know. The runtime thing's pissing me off, I think. So, Stefan, I'll start with you. Kick us off. What were your overall thoughts?
Olivia Colman is just phenomenal.
Yep.
That woman is amazing actress. However, it did feel a little bit kind of like finale's next week. Let's just kind of get to the finale.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. I enjoyed the episode, but it did kind of feel very penultimate episode-y. Like, we can't let anything too big happen because we need to save it all for next week.
Yeah.
That's kind of the feeling I got.
Yeah, do you sort of echo a little bit of me? Was like loads of great stuff happened in this episode, but then at the end of it, still felt because like to me it felt because the runtime thing I've said it pisses me off.
Yeah,
they started at basically an hour. You know, if you take the adverts out, which obviously you don't have a streaming, they're basically an hour. It's like 48, 51 minutes. I think the first 2 episodes.
And now we're at like half hour.
Yeah, now we're at half hour. I think episode 3 actual episode time was like 28 minutes. Episode 4 actual episode time was like 29 and a half. And then we got this one, which was basically 28, 29 again. And you said before it doesn't bother you, but like to me, it's like this episode, it really kind of, it felt like when he walked out of that room, like, bring it on. I'm like, yeah, bring it. Okay, what do you mean end? What do you mean end?
There's a lot got to now happen in one episode.
Yeah, and that's also playing on my mind. So, Kaylee, I'll come across to you. Your thoughts overall?
I really liked it, and I quite liked. Whilst the ending was very unsatisfying, I can only see that as a good thing because essentially that means that I want to see more, and it makes me excited for the next one. Rather than it's done now, And again, I didn't pick up my phone, so
that is a good indicator.
I really liked it because I think what we got in this episode, they could have dropped bits of that into the other episodes and it wouldn't have felt so kind of wholesome in the way that in terms of a whole story, not wholesome as in lovely and fluffy.
I got you. You said wholesome and I was thinking I don't know where that I don't know what bit was the wholesome bit. I'm lost.
I'm still amazed that a female person just said the end was very unsatisfying, but it made me want more.
Phil. See, I thought of a joke to say at that moment, and you actually went with it.
It just made me chuckle.
The end was unsatisfying, but I want more. Yeah. Oh, bless you.
Sorry, Katie, carry on.
I don't think she wants to now.
That was all I had to say on the matter.
Yes. Yeah.
I got more positive than you guys, I think, by the episode.
Well, yeah, it's a difficult thing because I'm trying to articulate and it's difficult. It's like I'm going to go through this now and I'm going to be like, oh, I love this scene, I love this bit, and everyone's going to think, well, dude, what was your problem then?
Exactly.
You know
what
I mean?
more do you want? Honestly, you're so demanding.
I am, yeah. See, that's more like what I get from women. That's more. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of break the episode down a little bit into a bit different than how we normally do it. I'm going to talk about individual kind of characters and things that happen. So I'm going to start talking about Gravik. So I'm just going to do some bullet points and discussion points. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Gravik orders Priscilla to be killed, and he calls her a traitor. Like, sort of like I'm guessing traitor to the people, to him. Katie, what did you think about that moment where he's clearly, that's a little bit of anger. This is the woman who first introduced him to Fury. He's obviously felt that she's on his side up to this point. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it just screamed of him losing grip on reality. You get a little bit of power and then it spirals. And I think, I mean, I got that throughout the whole episode, but that particular moment, I kind of think, you're kind of crossing a line with that, Yeah. It's changed the dynamic. It's changed the way the story's being told. And yeah, it's just that was the moment I think that I just went, he's lost it.
Yeah. Stefan, what did you think?
Yeah, he's, as a character, I've kind of enjoyed watching him, because we've said before about how, you have the bad guys that are shouty and loud and kind of, this guy's a lot more calculated, a lot quieter, more kind of thinking things through, which for me is more menacing.
Yeah. No,
however, in this episode, it appears like he's kind of lost all of that. He's kind of, his own people have turned against him. He's now just done to, sacrificed a lot of them. Don't care. So now I'm like, oh, okay, this calm, calculated, menacing presence has now kind of lost the control aspect.
See, I'm not sure on that. I'll tell you for why. Like, the next bullet point I had is I wrote down he loses it and kills his right-hand man.
Yep.
And then I've put in question mark, I've put next to it, like, temper, question mark, kind of like, is the stuff he's doing to himself, like the extremists, because we saw those people about extremists and stuff done to him. They were soldiers. They were like regular kind of people. They weren't evil supervillains, but then something happened with that which made them all kind of very explosive in every sense of the word.
It's like roid rage, isn't it, almost?
Yeah, perfect analogy, yeah. And I kind of, so I was kind of questioning that, but what you just said then about him being calculating and him, I don't think he actually cares about the scrolls around him. I think it's been a means to an end. I think, he'd love to conquer the earth and crown himself king, but I think that's why. I think if you look at him and his motives and the way this happens, you said about him losing it and being like, oh, I'll blow everyone up, I don't care.
Yeah.
Again, I think he's being calculating, because think about what he's doing. He's after the harvest, and he's basically knows that Nick actually cares about the scrolls. So he's using it. He's actually, again, a calculation, a kind of a manipulation. He is like, here's a building here full of innocent scrolls as well as a few bad ones. Also, a whole room full of people, humans, strapped up to our machines. Nick knows that. I'm now going to threaten this unless he does this. And so again, although, like, when he kills his right-hand man, I was like, oh, wow, he's lost it. Like Kaylee was just saying, you were saying, he then immediately just reverts back to, no, this is my calculated thing, this is what I'm doing.
I did have the thought about when he killed his right-hand man. Obviously, we saw a couple of episodes, he killed Gaia, and she's now fine because she had the extremis in her. And he kills the right-hand man, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, did he? Did he? Or has he given them guys the extremis as well? Or by the end of the episode, I'm like, okay, no, he's probably is dead.
So it's an interesting question that about who has it, because he kept talking about super scrolls, plural. But so far, he's the only one. Obviously, we saw Gaia did it herself. She realised what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But as far as we're aware, it's just him. So again, this kind of feeds back into this idea that I've got in my head, which is this is more about him being king, all-powerful, check me out, compared to anything else, if that makes sense. Kaylee, bringing you in, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm still kind of in two minds about it, I guess. I think there's the part of me that thinks he's snapped because he can see that he's almost losing his grip because people are starting to challenge him. His own people are challenging him. But at the same time, maybe we haven't seen the kind of root cause of all of this. We just have made assumptions that it's, he's young, he's bitter, he, wants this and wants that. But maybe there is more to it that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Which would be great, because otherwise it's, your kind of standard story. I'm waiting for a twist with it all.
Okay.
But I don't know if we're going to get that.
Have you got something in mind that you think it could be a bit of a twist?
No, I think the only obvious things would be, that he's somebody's kid or somebody's done something to, the kind of typical villain origin story trope.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And it's probably not going to happen, but there is still that I'm waiting for that big moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't had that. We were just discussing it, but Gravik obviously orders Rhodey to get the US president to attack the Skrulls in Russia. When I was writing my notes, I kind of wrote down why would he do that, but then as the episode developed, it became pretty clear. This is, again, a manipulation. He calls Fury to demand the harvest. When he was sending his right-hand man out doing stuff or trying to find this everywhere, and once you heard the word the harvest, did you kind of have an idea in your head what it was going to be, Steph? I'll come to you. Was it kind of like I wonder if it's this, or were you just like, what the hell?
I kind of was going down the line of it's got to be something super powerful. So I'm thinking, okay, is it a bit of Hulk DNA? Is it a bit of Thor's DNA? You know, that's like someone really powerful.
Well, you've just actually hit the nail on the head for where my mind went, which is the Hulk DNA, because we all watched the She-Hulk series.
Yep.
And someone was deliberately trying to take her blood.
Yeah.
That was kind of a kind of a thing that was happening. You know, and I just sort of thought to myself, I wonder if that means that's out there. I wonder if that is a thing, and that's going to tie in here. But it doesn't appear to be.
No. It was quite interesting when Fury's talking to Sonya, and he explains what the harvest is.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, that's got to be one hell of a clear-up operation.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Like, I was trying to think about it. I was like, so everywhere the Avengers have ever had a battle, like we know from the Spider-Man movie, they sent people in to go and collect all the bits from the Battle of New York, and that's how Vulture got his stuff. But I'm like, my God, that battle in Wakanda, for example.
Yep.
There was so much bloodshed by so many people.
Yeah.
My God, that's a clean-up operation.
Well, massively, yeah.
And it turns out that he was just sending the Skrulls to go and do it.
Yeah, which again, and it would appear that the Skrulls he sent were led by Gravik.
Yeah.
So, could it... Kaylee, I'll put this to you, because you just mentioned about the sort of the underlying bit of a twist. Could this actually end up just being as simple as Gravik felt seriously used, right? You're sending me to clean up blood? What the... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're anyone, you know, if there's what you can kind of class as temptation or, you know, jealousy of, well, you've got this and I want that, and, you know, it's going to breed in your brain over time. And actually, what a really shitty job to go and have to do.
I know.
And as, you know, as viewers, we probably don't necessarily... we kind of joke about, New York is blown up. No, they fixed that quick. You know, we kind of jest about it. But we've never really kind of thought seriously about who is actually going in there. Yeah. And that is one of the main things I liked from this episode. It was a really good, almost like a, you know, close the lid on that. We know it was the Skrulls. And that, you know, that I really appreciated that. It's given me some kind of closure as to who the hell is going in and cleaning up the mess that the Avengers have left behind. But I do think that it's probably, and I'm saying it out loud, that kind of situation that's breeding all of this for Gravik.
Resentment,
Yeah.
I thought I was one of your most trusted people, and you've sent me to go and clean up Carol Danvers' nosebleed. Great. Cheers.
It might even be, it's like you've given me the shitty job.
Yeah.
Like, when am I going to get mine? You know, what I deserve.
Yeah, no, completely.
When am I going to get thanked, almost, you know, because they are very hidden.
They are. We go on now to the sort of elements of Fury in this episode. He opens with getting the president to the hospital. Now, it was a very deliberate scene.
Yep.
You see him say to the president, like, it wasn't the Russians, do not trust Colonel Rhodes.
Yeah.
It was a very deliberate scene. Later in the episode, we see the president and Rhodes like the president hasn't heard him. So I'm going to put it to both of you one at a time. Stefan, I'll start with you. Do you think the president did hear Fury and that will come about, or do you think it was a throwaway thing?
I like to still think that Marvel do nothing via throwaway.
Yeah.
If we see something, we are meant to see it. So therefore, I feel like, that is going to come back to play a part somewhere.
Okay. Kaylee, what do you think?
100% he heard him.
Yeah.
100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I hope
and
so.
now I'll be wrong.
We have a lot of faith in Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm hopeful of that as well, because it felt very deliberate, and it leads to a confrontation with Rhodey, which I thought was quite good. And Rhodey has released that TV footage to the world that seems to show Fury killing Maria Hill.
Now, I didn't understand at this point when Rhodey is told Fury, "I've released it, I'm done."
Yeah.
Why Nick didn't just pull the trigger and show to everyone that he was an alien? I was like, surely at that point, I've really released it, you're done for. Okay, well, if I'm done for, bang, so are you.
I think there's an element of bullets travel faster than thought, and there's Secret Service agents there who will just see their protectee get shot, and I think they'll barrel Fury before looking, oh, wait a minute, that corpse has changed to an alien. Whoops. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's very outgunned in that situation, as he then demonstrates. I would also like to say, I wonder how many of that detail are Skrulls.
I did wonder that. Yeah.
And the reason why I say it is because Fury's kind of like telling him, go fork yourself, you alien son of it. And, Rhodey's talking quite openly in front of them all, so...
Yeah, one of them went, whoa, we just called him an alien. That's a bit harsh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh, you crazy, crazy eyes. But I enjoyed the scene between them. I think, although this is Skrull Rhodey, getting to see him in this, the actor Don Cheadle, I think he's having fun. You can kind of like, oh, cool, I get to do this. Yeah. Brilliant. Same character, but doing it like this. Great. Yeah.
I get to be an arsehole now? Awesome.
Yeah, bring it on. Yeah. And I think he's enjoying that. Fury meets with Gaia. A little nice moment in this where they mention Windrush as well, which was kind of a nice tie-in when you consider everything that's going on with the Skrulls. You can tell some of the writers are clearly from England.
Yeah.
He tells her to take Talos' body to Priscilla to help bury him. I don't know about anybody else, but that kind of confirmed he's dead, and I was really gutted.
Yeah.
there was part of me that was like, oh, maybe he's going to be okay. Maybe he's just badly injured, and someone's going to pick him off the road. And no, he's gone.
Yeah, he's dead. I'm
not okay with that.
There was a little bit of a thing for me on this, actually. So,
okay.
Gaia, as far as Gravik is aware, Gaia is dead. She was shot, and he left her for dead.
Yeah.
Now, apart from the fact that Emilia Clarke probably got paid a lot of money to be in this, I cannot think of any reason why she hasn't changed the person that she transforms into. Like, surely, if you are someone who has, as far as everyone is aware, you have been shot, you are dead, you are gone.
Yeah.
You would not be walking around as the same person. If you can transform yourself into anyone,
yeah,
why would you not just become a Joe Bloggs off the street and kind of, right, I'm a bit more hidden now?
Yeah.
And in the same sense, it confused me with the whole Priscilla thing. Priscilla knows that Gravik is going to send someone to come and kill her.
Yeah.
And I know she explains that, I'd rather die in my happy place than in some back alley somewhere. Well, if I have the ability to transform into anybody there is, I would be a different person every freaking day as a safety net.
I think it's valid, but I also think there's a kind of an element of, again, FU to it, if that makes sense, which is Gaia probably assumed that form and that look and has had that for quite some time as part of her family unit with Talos and her mother. They'd have had a human look to their family.
Yep.
So her not wanting to change that right now, I can kind of understand. I don't think that means she won't be shifting in and out at different times. I wouldn't be surprised to see her rock up and maybe attack Gravik from left field, if you see what I mean. Like, he doesn't see it coming because it's her. Yeah. Or her is somebody else.
I have a feeling Maria Hill is going to make an appearance in the final episode.
You think she's still alive?
No, I think she's dead, but I think Kobe Smulders is going to make an appearance in the last episode.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be to mess with Gravik or to mess with Fury.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that she is going to make an appearance in that last episode.
Okay. Kaylee, what do you think? I mean, Stefan's point's valid. Why didn't they just change face? What do you think?
I think there's probably a bit more emotional. That she's got two identities. A third is. It kind of goes back to what you said, Sam. It's not about just kind of shifting in and out, but the emotional attachment that she's got to her current form.
Yeah.
Is probably stronger than the fear of bumping into Gravik in the street. If you've already been through so much and you've got an affinity with that body, that skin.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's almost I'm not going to hide from Gravik. If he finds me, he finds me. But the element of surprise, I hadn't thought of that actually, and I think that's quite good. However, does a Skrull know that you're a Skrull, even if you're not in Skrull form?
Yeah, I genuinely don't know that. I was wondering
even
that
if
myself.
she, even if she did, even if she did change. Same with Priscilla. She's been very, very strong in her opinions of I am me. This is who I am. I'm not going anywhere. This is my house. Yada yada yada. So if she did change, would Gravik kind of just know her original form anyway?
Yeah.
So is there any point?
Yeah, and also she's dropped the extremis, so she's probably thinking, "Shoot me, bitch! Nothing ain't gonna happen."
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah. Kaylee, we then have Nick Fury getting out of London. And we have probably, I think, one of the most random cameos ever. Were you pleased to see Mason again?
Oh my God, yes. That was probably my favourite 7 seconds of the whole episode.
Really? Wow, you must really like this guy.
Do you know, it was just so nice to have just this because it was so left of field. Like I never would have expected to see him at any point in this series. And there he was, and it was just a oh my God kind of happy moment type situation. And it's nice that they've kind of tied someone in because they've made all these references that actually they kind of followed through on it. But yeah, really wasn't expecting it, and I did enjoy it. Yes.
It made me laugh because he's obviously got him the jet, he's obviously got him the widow's mask and the ID and everything, and he hands it to him and he's kind of stood there like, thank you, no, okay, fine, you're welcome. Yeah. Which made me laugh. It's like you might want to take a nap because clearly you're cranky. Stefan, what did you think of the little cameo?
Can I be completely honest, put my hands up? Yeah, it was completely lost on me.
Really?
Yeah. You guys are saying all that now, and I'm like, wait, who the hell is Mason? What have I missed?
It's from Black Widow.
Yeah, Rick Mason at the end of Black Widow, and they're talking. That was a great moment in the movie. I really like Black Widow.
That was completely
I enjoyed that film as well. Yeah, not just Yelena's amazing, but yeah, I enjoyed the Black Widow.
Everything
film.
but Ray Winston was incredible in that film.
Well, let's just say Ray Winston's accent.
Yeah. But I completely. Do you know what? This was the show. So when that guy first appeared at the door, and I heard the way he was talking, my first honest thought was, as I'd completely missed this whole Mason thing, I genuinely, my first thought was Hunter from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, right.
It was that kind of accent and cockiness, and I had to double take and go, wait a minute, oh, no, it's not him. Okay.
No, definitely not Hunter.
But I just think it was a really nice thing to show that, Fury and Natasha were obviously closer than we ever really realised. And for them to still be in contact, that was what kind of got it for me. They are linked forever because of Natasha, and he's still helping Fury. Yeah. I loved it. Very clever, very good.
I agree. He goes through customs. I enjoyed that scene. That was kind of fun. And then I get probably one of my favourite moments in the whole thing, which is where he gets in a car with Sonia Falsworth, who tells him to put his seatbelt on.
Yes.
Seatbelt?
Every single scene that woman is in, she steals. Like, she is amazing. Brilliant. The fact that she can even reference Cake or Death from Eddie Izzard.
Yeah.
You know, that was like, that's proper British, that is. I was like, yes!
Yeah, she's incredible. I mean, just to touch on her scenes in this then. So she nodded a couple of episodes to, she had a little bit of she called it an infestation problem herself. and we saw her look at her file. We then learned that the file she was looking at was actually her boss.
Yeah.
She then walks into her boss's office and shoots him, which, by the way, is living the dream, isn't it? That's got to be the dream for so many people. For our American listeners, no. No.
In my case, the boss is the wife, so...
So, yeah, the dream. I'll say it for you. No problem. I got it. I got you, buddy. I got you. I know what you want to say, but you can't.
Cheers, man.
No worries. But, yeah, so, I mean, but again, she is so... It's that element of calmness and the kind of the smile, like all those guys running like, "Well, Tanya, what have you done?" And she's like, "Oh, look at him, look at that there, look." And they're like, "Oh my god." And it's like, now we don't officially have a policy on killing Skrulls. I could enact my personal view. Maybe you should start talking. It's like, oh my god, you're amazing. She does track down that doctor, the Skrull doctor. She get the Skrull doctor. The Skrull is obviously with her. Is a very Gravik devotee and puts a gun to her head, like, I won't let her betray Gravik.
Which then comes up with my favourite line from the whole show.
Oh,
the Nigel.
What all the podcasts are about.
Yeah, Nigel, we're gonna have to have someone in admin either fired or shot, because this is becoming a health hazard. I'm not. My name's Victor. Well, of course you are. Nigel's the one with the silencer against your skull.
Yeah.
It's like amazing.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She is in this. She is the, like the Agent M from James Bond. Yeah. She is just perfect for this. And
we're gonna have to torture her now, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yeah, I really, I mean, obviously we got a final episode coming up, and please don't do this to me, Marvel, but I really want to see her in more. Like, I want Sonya Falsworth to become a thing, to be ongoing. Yeah, I know, I probably have. But Kaylee, what do you think? You're Sonya Falsworth fan? I know you must be.
Yeah, I would happily have an entire episode of just watching her go up to people with a big cheery smile and putting a bullet in their face. Absolutely. Yeah. But she comes out with the best lines, and I wonder how much of it is actually Olivia Colman, because she's very much like that, she's very dry, she's very British. My favourite line was, if they're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I adore that woman. And I think if we see her going forward, I think she will become almost like the new Maria Hill for Fury.
To me, she's like Peggy Carter. Like Peggy Carter was an agent and all this, and then became like the head of what then became S.H.I.E.L.D. So this feels like we're getting, grown up Peggy Carter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And she's so good, so good. We then see Fury go to his grave, and I love the fact that we get a little nod of, how many of these do you have? He's like, oh, I've got them dotted all around the globe.
Anywhere with a special Rhino-Lights connection. It's great.
God's sake, Fury.
It's when he says, why here? Okay, I'm on a honeymoon here, Skrulls like the cold. Yes. Now you get it.
So Sonya gives him a look. I'll go to both of you. Kaylee, I'll start with you. How do you think Sonya's look to him in that moment was? A bit surprised, but yeah, what did you think?
It was suspicious, and I feel like I've missed something.
Well, basically, obviously, Sonya may have known he was married, but probably didn't know he was married to a Skrull. So when he said, I came here on a honeymoon because Skrulls like the cold, I think she shot him a look of like, oh, really?
Yeah, of course. See, I went too obscure and thought, what have I missed about the Skrulls? Is that why they're in Russia? Is that why they're like, rather than going to the desert?
I think it was just whoa, Fury, you married a Skrull. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
I loved the kind of ID, unlocking the grave. that's where he hid the harvest, and then you go in and he's got the tomb there, and it's basically just a weapons cache. I saw someone online saying Marvel have some amazing suit-up scenes, mostly Iron Man, but then you've got a couple for Spider-Man, which are incredible.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange has that one where he throws the handkerchief that's actually the cloak, and he jumps down. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And people are saying this one's actually pretty cool as well. He's like putting on the eye patch again, putting on the coat again. It's Fury time, and here's the bit. And I'm going to come to you both individually. Stefan, I'll start with you. It's time. Let's finish this, he says on the phone. Who is he talking to?
My instant thought was Carol Danvers.
Okay.
But then my mind went to, but from what we saw at the end of Ms. Marvel, probably unlikely considering they've had kind of like a switcheroo thing happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so if it's not them, who the hell can it be? Like, I really am lost. Maybe Monica Rambeau?
Yeah, okay, but you think he's on the phone to an ally? Like,
yeah.
It's time, right? And it's time you come in. Yeah. Okay, Kaylee, what about you?
I immediately thought of Carol Danvers, and then thought actually she's busy.
Yeah.
So maybe not. And then I thought maybe he's on the phone to Gravik. Maybe he's like, let's have a showdown. Let's get on it.
That's kind of where I am. I'm kind of in two minds. I think everyone would like it to be a cameo. Everyone would like an Avenger to show up. It's time. Let's finish this. Kind of feels like he's had a little bit of a plan going the whole time, and he's got someone coming in to enact his plan now. Almost like another thing. Maybe it's the real Rhodes. Maybe he knew where he was, and it's like, okay, Rhodey, now it's time. Let's finish this, and he's going to show up in the War Machine armor. I don't know. Gravik, I think, is the most likely. I think it's time. Let's finish this. He could easily be to Gravik because it was Gravik who called him, but I don't know. I mean, the only other note I've got written down here is about Priscilla and Gaia, the scenes with them together. Talos kind of funeral, which I'm not okay about. I'm going to miss Ben Mendelsohn's amazing.
He was fantastic.
That character was so good. I'm so gutted. I'm so gutted about that. We then have kind of an action scene where they're attacked. The Skrull hit team arrives. Priscilla's got a couple of weapons, vests, if you like, kind of like, okay, let's go. Obviously, the wife of Fury, that house is probably laced with weapons everywhere. But the two of them rip through this team like they're not even there. Showing that we already kind of guessed Priscilla would be a badass, didn't we? Because of who she is and who she's married to.
Yeah.
Seeing Gaia work that as well was a little bit of a surprise to me. But it kind of shows that those two could be quite an ally to Nick as well. Those two showing up to go after Gravik, like, actually, let's take the fight to him, could cause quite a bit of commotion.
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot of Skrulls there who are now not Team Gravik anymore.
Yeah.
And I think if Gaia shows up, I am Gaia, daughter of Talos, the true general, I think a lot of them would suddenly walk to her side instantly.
I think that's what we're leading up to. She's going to become the new general.
Yeah. Or just the leader. It just kind of feels like now would be the time, because he killed his right-hand man, basically called them all nameless, faceless, worthless. They tried to kill him, which is never, if you're a leader and your team try to kill you, it's never a good sign. Morale is clearly dipped.
Yeah, that's not that's like a mutiny thing. You're not doing well.
Yeah, you're not loved. You're not loved. But that was everything I had noted down. Stefan, I'll come to you first. Was there any other parts of the episode you wanted to go over?
No, I think we've covered it all from my side.
Excellent. Kaylee, were there any other bits that you wanted to discuss?
Just a couple of things point out, really, especially in that scene with Priscilla and Gaia.
Yeah.
There was a line before the kind of it all kicked off, she was talking, it was after, talking about how she sacrificed herself for Fury almost, because Gaia says to her, why have you got your face on? Why aren't you? And it really kind of just screamed that actually Priscilla, we know that Priscilla and Fury are, two peas in a pod almost. They goes deep, doesn't it? It's not, anything.
There is love there.
Yeah, and I think in that moment you almost felt like Priscilla knew that, and she can see it, and she was willing to sacrifice her Skrull self for him.
Yeah.
And there was just a couple of throwaway lines that it was really, for me, really powerful in that moment, which I quite liked. And the other thing that I wrote down, when they are going at it with all the Skrulls and they've got their backpacks on.
Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters, man.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Time.
It was. It did look like they put the proton packs on at one point. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive thank you to everyone for continuing listening and messaging in. We do appreciate all of it. You can find us on all of the socials, so get in touch if you want to. You can also find us on a Discord channel when Stefan's not in there upsetting people, of course. Talking about how big CEOs are the best and little people should lose their homes. Shocking, man. Shocking.
That didn't.
I saw it.
Yeah, I backtracked.
No.
I did my research. I was a big man. I did my research and came back and apologised.
I don't know if you saw it, Kaylee, but he was
awful.
I had a message from someone saying his opinion was vile.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Vile, I tell you. Yeah, I think when people are losing their houses and someone jokes about it and you support the person joking, people are going to take offence to that.
Wow!
It was funny. Anyway, massive thank you. So you can join our Discord and you can attack Stefan. That's part of the fun. You can find a link to our Discord via any of our socials. It's on a couple of pinned posts. I'll also put a link in the podcast description. Stefan, if you'd like to say goodbye to all the lovely people.
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah, and Kaylee, if you'd like to say goodbye to all the lovely people.
Goodbye, lovely people.
And in honour of Kaylee, her favourite line from the episode will see us out. Goodbye, everyone. We'll be back next week.
I won't let her betray Gravik. Let us go, or I'll kill her.
Oh, I don't doubt you for a moment. The males in my species are very similar. If they're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder. That's what all the podcasts are about.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.